So just tell me when we're going live, guys. Just tell me when we're going live. We're going live! Hi, everybody! How's it going? I'm Kathy J. What are you doing today? I might have been catching some Z's. Don't worry about me. I'll tell you why in a second. Thank you for coming to the Kathy J. Show. Thank you for hanging out with me this half hour. It means so much to me. It means so much to my staff. And I want to say thank you to everybody who went and checked out the new website, kathyjshow.com. Thank you so much, everybody. If you miss any shows or you want to see behind the scenes what happens here when I'm not napping, you can get it right there at kathyjshow.com. You can even contact me. So I know there's a lot of you out there that want to do shows with me. You can contact me right there on the site. All right, so today we're talking about insomnia. I don't have a problem falling asleep. In fact, I could actually really, truly fall asleep right now if you gave me a chance. A little warm blanket, I've never had a problem with sleeping, except oddly enough, last night. Okay, so if you did, I'm sorry, here's the thing. I wanted to do something with John really fast. John, turn the lights out. I'll fall asleep right now. Goodbye. All right, turn it back on. Okay. Sorry. I just had to play with him real fast. He never gets to be part of the show. He's always hidden over there. He's my wizard behind the curtain. All right, so here's the thing. I actually experienced insomnia last night. It was the first time in a long time because I don't have a problem falling asleep. In fact, no issues except for when I was pregnant. I couldn't fall asleep when I was pregnant. If I could fall asleep, I couldn't stay asleep. My mind was constantly thinking, I don't know, you have a human growing inside of you. That was pretty stressful. And I was still working too. So after a while, I just became exhausted from being exhausted. You ever get there, everybody? I couldn't get the sleep to recharge my body. It was like horrible. It was just every day started with me wishing I could go back to sleep, praying for the day to be over. And the day was just beginning. How many of you out there feel me on that? It's no way to live, and I'm not alone. I'm not the only person out there saying, please, just let me sleep. I just need some sleep. You know you need sleep. In fact, a recent survey from the American Association of Sleep Medicine said that 51% of us have tried using some sort of aid to fall asleep. And that's the ones that admitted it. We're all trying everything from the weighted blankets to the hypnotherapy just to catch some Z's, not to mention, oh my goodness, don't even get me started on the rituals. You gotta turn on the sound wave machine. You gotta get the fan just right. You gotta get the TV on low. All of you right now are laughing because you all have your rituals to help you fall asleep. My ritual starts with me getting my kids to bed. Then after an hour and a half of that kind of effort, I wind down with what I like to call a shot, some spray, and some sleepy time tea. Most nights, however, I don't really need all that because I'm so exhausted. Just like that, I can fall asleep anywhere. Standing up right now. Oh, we get to turn the lights off again, John. Right now while the lights are off. Okay. Sorry. All right, turn it back on, John. But if you can't sleep, everybody, maybe you're up right now watching me on a rerun overnight. How crazy is that? First of all, I want to say thank you for watching. And if you are watching right now on a rerun overnight, let me know what you got on the infomercials. Did you get suckered in? Does that big air fryer oven thing really work? Because I really want to know about it. And second of all, I want to say maybe you're struggling with sleep issues related to the pandemic. You might not even realize that's what's causing you to not sleep. It's something called coronasomnia. It's not a song, coronasomnia. Sleepless nights related to uncertainty and isolation related to the pandemic. It's a real thing. It's making us sicker. Losing sleep affects your mind and your heart and everything. Well, everything just starts falling apart from there, obviously. So let's try and figure it out. What is insomnia and how do we say goodbye to it? My expert, Dr. Lauren Gorog, is here, a clinical health psychologist, and we will be right back. Turn the lights. Kathy J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathy J. Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the Kathy J. Show. All right, not being able to get a good night's sleep is one of the hardest things that our bodies has to deal with. And we've all been there, right? You feel like your brain's in a fog the whole day, maybe week after week. It turns into month after month. Oh, you have a hard time functioning. It's like we're all walking zombies. Well, imagine having trouble with insomnia and not being able to get help for it. your body never gets that rest that it craves. It's not being replenished. What happens then? Woo. Dr. Lauren, I don't know. We're going to ask her. Today, Dr. Lauren Gorog is here, a clinical health psychologist, to tell us what causes insomnia, how do we get out of it. Everybody, please welcome Dr. Lauren to the show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's start with insomnia. Is insomnia what the one time I had last night, or is insomnia you have to have it more than one night? What is it?
Yeah. So insomnia is more than just a restless night of tossing and turning.
Okay.
So in order to be, diagnosed with a clinical case of insomnia, it really needs to be about 3 months of not sleeping for at least 3 nights per week.
Okay.
So 4 out of 7 nights you're sleeping, but those 3 nights you're not, it's pretty brutal. And for 3 consecutive months, that's when it's considered the condition of insomnia.
Okay.
And it's pretty important to look at further.
Yes, absolutely. So what keeps us up at night, it's everything. It's the stress, it's our family, it's the money, it's everything, right? And is that really what causes insomnia, or is there a chemical thing going on inside of us?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there are so many different types of sleep disorders, but what distinguishes insomnia from the other sleep disorders is it's really behaviorally driven. So it's a connection between the mind and the body, and so it's stress and anxiety about not sleeping that often precipitates not sleeping and then maintains the struggle. So it's a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle. And obviously during the pandemic, that's why the term coronasomnia got coined, because during the pandemic there was a lot to be concerned about that kept us up at night. You also said it was very difficult because a lot of us were now living in our bedroom and working in our bedroom, and that affected our sleep. How is that?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
you think it'd affect our job, not our sleep.
Yeah, and in fact, it's the opposite. So if we spend too much time in bed or create too many associations with bed, rather than just sleep and sex, then we end up creating what we call behavioral discontrol. So then, I'm stressed out about work, so I'm going to try to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm just kind of awake.
Right.
I might not have any worries going on, but my body is just telling me it's time to be alert because you've got to wake up and do work.
Yeah. Oh, because your body's used to working while you're in that bed. Okay,
exactly.
Right. Because I put in work, but no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Okay. So you also said screen time is a big factor, and all of us, so many are working from home right now. That's all we live is screen time. So that also hurts us. So
that's
what do we got to do there? Okay.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
It's something with the blue light and how it affects our brain. Is that true?
Yeah, so the blue light is a component. It's eye strain as well. So typically if we look at anything too close for too long, it creates this eye strain, and it just keeps our nervous system aroused and invigorated. Whether it's something boring or not, our mind is still going, our body is still alert. And so about 2 hours before bed, we should really be off the screens entirely, which is really hard.
2 hours?
It's really hard.
What?
And especially outside of the bedroom. And so the thing, that I've started doing is just taking the phone and keeping it outside and just going back to the analog clock.
It's so old school.
Yeah.
But if it helps us sleep in the long run, if it's better for you, I get that. Okay, so I want to talk about some misconceptions with you about insomnia.
Sure.
Okay, so if one of the misconceptions, if insomnia is brought on by stress, anxiety, a lot of people want to shut that down so they can get the sleep, shut their mind off. That's what I always say. I got to shut my brain down. You have a lot, this is where the misconceptions come in.
Yeah.
Because I brought a lot of props in today to tell you, because she's trying to say, everybody, all the stuff we're used to, we shouldn't be using. So here we go. You ready?
See what we got.
Well, here's the first bag. Okay. My little sleep spray. This is a natural sleep spray.
I've never even seen this.
Yeah, well, it's really good. You should try it.
Well, look at it.
I have my mask. I have Benadryl, because you always need Benadryl. You spray this on the pillow, and doesn't that smell nice? Just put you right to sleep.
Ooh, lavender.
Right, lavender. I got
Love
my
that.
earbuds so I don't have to hear my kids. I have, are any of those good?
Yeah.
I can use those? Okay, what about this? Will this put me to sleep? A weighted blanket.
Absolutely.
Isn't this nice? Oh. And if that doesn't put you to sleep,
nice.
Dr. Lauren, I have this.
What is this?
I'm sorry.
That's good for your bed partner if they're snoring.
That's what else is happening.
Yes.
Why don't you like any of these products when it comes to trying to help me get to go to sleep?
Yeah. Well, so I love all of them minus this. Can
Why
do away
don't
with
you
that.
like this?
So that is a sedative hypnotic, and that will knock you out.
Yeah.
But it will help maybe promote sleep onset.
Okay.
Artificially, and then it also detracts from REM sleep. So shorter cycles of early onset sleep, but you're not getting that deep restful sleep. And so it really masks the problem over time. And then maintains insomnia.
What about, so here's the thing, I can't tell you, like I watched my grandfather, he'd be work in the field all day, he'd have scotch to go to bed. I have a lot of friends, marijuana, alcohol, it's the cheapest, it's the easiest to get a hold of to go to sleep. I don't want to go to a doctor to tell him I have these problems, so then we have to discuss all these, like I can get these two things legally in Colorado, fall asleep. You don't like them, why?
Yeah, I mean, it's a touchy subject.
Yes.
And I think even the American Association for Sleep Medicine is saying we don't have enough research to understand fully the strains between the CBD and THC and the compounds and the effect it has. So there's a lot going on. The director did say, I just read something recently, if it, you believe it works for you and it helps you with sleep, by all means, but is it going to actually, do we have proof that it's creating restorative sleep? And when we get into the effects of not getting that, you're kind of taking a big risk.
So your problem with those two things isn't them as, you can enjoy them recreationally.
Right, yeah.
It's the fact that they're shutting down a part of you. They're masking your brain to the point where you can't go into the right REM sleep to get your body to start recharging. Is that it?
Right.
Okay.
And because I do the behavioral sleep medicine, what I really want to get into is why aren't you sleeping? Right? Naturally, we should all be able to go to sleep because it's one of the basic needs we have.
Right.
And so if something's keeping you from sleeping, then we're just masking the problem and then compounding the problem. So insomnia develops not just because I have anxiety and worry about something happening now, but now I've created an association of fear of sleep.
Oh.
And now I need more chemicals, not only before I go to bed, but then all day.
Right.
To balance that out.
You're right. Okay. I see where you're going with that. We'll discuss more when we come back. Coming up, our discussion with Dr. Lauren is going to talk about how to prevent, because all of this you don't need. Dr. Lauren says there's a way that you can actually just talk it out. We'll be right back to talk about that. Kathy J. The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on. Kathy J. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So today the show is about insomnia because so many of us are struggling. So many of you are struggling with it right now.
Not me.
Not me. I can fall asleep. Do you have insomnia?
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I don't actually. Oh. But I do experience sleeplessness sometimes.
Yes.
For sure.
And so you immediately recognize, what's going on, Dr. Lauren? What has you up right now thinking about it? Is that what you do?
Oh, absolutely. Like last night, I was really excited to be here, and I was kind of expecting, I might wake up through the night. I might. But it was kind of part of the fun.
Yeah, no, for sure. Restless nights are one thing.
But exactly.
She said earlier, everybody, 3 restless nights a week for after 3 months at a time, you have some issues.
To put it nicely.
To put it nicely. All right, so you were also saying one of the reasons why, the lifers that have a drink before they go to bed or smoke a weed before they go to bed, the problem with that is how it has rewired your brain to take away something that your brain needs to fall asleep, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we really want to set ourselves up to be really tired as the sun's going down, right? So melatonin is being released, and then we have another brain chemical that's being released. And so whenever we're not sleeping, if we take other chemicals at night to fall asleep to combat the anxiety or stress, we're changing the neuroreceptors and kind of systematically doing things to our brain, then it makes it a bigger problem in the end.
So just think about that, everybody, tonight when you're heading to bed. But the other thing we wanted to talk about is a way that you can start to treat insomnia, and that's with CBT. Okay, tell everybody what that is.
Yeah, so cognitive behavioral therapy specifically for insomnia. It's the gold standard treatment
Really?
for insomnia. Yep.
So you can treat insomnia?
Yep.
You can be treated, everybody. Those bags under your eyes can go away. All right, how do you do it? What's involved in that?
So there's about 4 main components: stimulus control, sleep restriction.
Okay, stimulus control are you hooking me up to something? What is that? Are you putting a cake in front of me?
It sounds fancier than it is,
Okay.
and essentially we're recreating the association between bedtime ritual, and sleep.
Okay.
And so we do quite a few things under that category, and then we've got sleep restriction, which actually that name kind of throws people off because what we're doing is enhancing the amount of time that you're in bed actually asleep. So we're increasing your sleep efficiency. We're making you more productive at sleeping. And then we've got sleep hygiene, which I think a lot of people are really catching wind of.
Please explain sleep hygiene.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so sleep hygiene is so important when it comes to just getting your physical rest before you even get into bed. So just coming down from a day takes a couple hours, and we often don't give ourselves enough time.
No.
And then the cognitive portion of it, that's my bread and butter because that's what I do. So we really get into the anxiety about sleep. So you heard me say, oh yeah, I was kind of up last night tossing and turning. How I rationalized it with myself was preventative strategy so that I can fall asleep tonight.
Oh yeah.
So we kind of get into some of the strategies cognitively about some missed sleep, sleep quality, all sorts of things.
So you teach us the tools to work through whatever the problem is instead of us doing the Band-Aid at home.
Right.
So we can just finally get rid of it and fall asleep naturally the way our body is supposed to be. Yeah. Okay, well, it's all good in theory. How long do I have to hang out with you to get this kind of treatment?
Yeah, so I've seen in my practice people within 2 weeks improve. But typically the standard course of treatment is 6 to 8 weeks.
Because you got to first work through whatever the problem is that's causing them to be awake at night, whatever goes in their mind. Then you have to help do the sleep hygiene and create healthy rituals, right? The sleep rituals.
Well,
is that why it takes so long?
Well, not necessarily. We actually start off with stimulus control 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
And so just recreating the time in bed is for sleep or sex, and then outside of that, you're up out of bed doing different activities. So starting there, and then we go into truncating the amount of time you're actually allowed to be in bed so that you are sleeping. And then if, the cognitive stuff really is interfering, we do that. So it's really actually a lot more straightforward, structured. It does take work, but the joy of my job is I just have to get rid of the barriers of sleep. People have to sleep.
People have to sleep.
They have to. So I just have to pluck the barriers and people fall asleep.
Is it true that your brain has to reach a certain amount of REM out through the night in order for your body to rest? Is that true? Like it's not like you can fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep. Like you have to go in for a minute, right?
Yeah. You got to go in and stay there.
Right.
The restorative sleep is both the stage 3 and 4. So the NREM is really important for memory consolidation and for learning and concentration. So if you haven't slept a night before, you're thinking, oh, I can't concentrate, I can't stay on task, I can't remember things. So that is really important. And then the REM sleep is for a lot of that and then some in terms of healing and restorative.
We have to sleep, everybody.
Physical health.
And as you know, sleep is priceless.
Yeah.
So it's worth
really
anything to try to get you to be able to go to sleep again, everybody. How much are you wasting on all the other stuff that isn't working? You just take one phone call and come meet Dr. Lauren, everybody. So if you're struggling with insomnia, don't try to figure it out on your own. There is help for you. Just like I was saying, reach out to Dr. Lauren directly. Connect to her on her website. It's goroghealth.com. G-R-O-O-G. G-O-R-O-G.
Yeah, it's a palindrome.
Yes. Goroghealth.com. Thank you so much, Dr. Lauren. We will be right back, okay? There are also other resources, out there that Dr. Lauren recommends. You said that the sleepeducation.org is a great place.
Great resource. Yeah, that's a great resource.
Sleepeducation.org.
And also the Society for Behavioral Sleep Medicine.
Okay.
Yep.
All of that, you'll get advice, great information right there. All right, we'll be right back. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathy J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. It's already time for the show to end, but I want to say thank you to my partners, Ramos Law, FitMD, the Colorado Lottery, and Oakwood Homes, and thank you, IKEA Centennial, for my set. It's very comfy. I love it. Don't forget, you can get caught up on all the past shows at thekathyjshow.com, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Lauren, for helping us all get some better sleep.
My
sleep
pleasure.
is priceless. I will let you have the final word. We were just talking about the fact of health issues if you don't get enough sleep. Tell everybody what happens there.
Yeah, so I got really passionate about this work after learning just the direct correlation between sleep deprivation. So when it becomes insomnia, not sleeping for 3 nights a week for 3 months, starts to take a real big toll quickly on your health.
Dementia, you said?
Yeah, there's some correlational studies that show a correlation between dementia, Alzheimer's, cancer, even early mortality.
Right.
So it's real serious.
It is serious. It affects your heart really too as well. And don't forget, you also mentioned a lot of people, they die in car crashes because that's where they fall asleep because they're not getting the right sleep overnight. So everybody, please take care of yourself. And thank you, Dr. Lauren, for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
One more time, your website so everyone can find you.
It is www.goroghealth.com.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
all
you're
right,
welcome.
everybody. Get your sleep tonight and dream of me. No, I'm kidding. We'll see you later. Bye. Why not?